with their matching tattoos. They got blow-up animals and rainbow capes, superhero cosplay, and a bunch of sad sack betas in tights and face paint, blue-haired Karen screaming at the sky while some washed-up wedding singer belts Imagine and starts to cry. They don't know what they're protesting, they just know they're mad. Marching for 12 straight hours like it's gonna fix the world, oh how sad. From defund the police to free Palestine, they scream at the clouds all day and wonder why nothing's changed. It's the dumbest damn circus that I've ever seen. A bunch of ignorant socialists living in a fever dream. They got signs saying eat the rich while wearing 300 jeans, do demanding 25 minimum wage for a job they've never seen. They block the interstate for climate change, glue themselves to the road, then cry when the cops show up and say time to go home. Beta males nodding along like good little boys, while their girlfriends stream fascist at the mailman delivering toys. They don't know what they're protesting, they just know they're mad. Marching for weeks on end like it's gonna fix the world, oh how sad. From no kings to no borders, from pronouns to Palestine, they're out there every weekend wasting everybody's time. It's the dumbest damn circus that I've ever seen. A bunch of blue-haired socialists lost in their own wet dream. They've been at it since Floyd, through Dobbs and through Gaza. Still don't have a clue what the hell they're even hollering for, y'all. 1 week it's save the turtles, next week it's burn it all down. Honey, pick a lane before you run that whole parade into the ground. They don't know what they're protesting, they just know they're mad. Long days, long weeks, still nothing good ever comes from there. Blow up giraffes, blue hair and beta males in tow. It's the saddest damn circus that this country's ever known. So keep marching in circles, keep screaming at the sky, while the rest of us are working, y'all just look stupid. And that's no lie.
Liberals screaming, socialist in tears, raging at orange tweets for 14 years. Trump on old pills and MAGA strength too, butthurt cream and preparation orange for you. Trump relax, Trump quill, Trump drops and ears. MAGA, 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 dry those tears. Trumpicilling kills the crazy in your head. Get back to reality with Trump. No.
Enough of that. I didn't even intend to play that last one, but once it started, I said, "What the hell? I'll just let it play. It's funny." I tried to make some jingles with this thing, and some of them did not come out that well. So anyway, there you go. Welcome everybody. Got home late tonight. Had a bunch of stuff to do. I don't even have the lights and stuff on behind me yet, so it is what it is. I literally don't even have anything turned on yet, and it's kind of strange. Whatever. All right. Look who's here tonight. His daddy Kitty. He wanted to come in. Where's Mama? Yeah, Mama's over there. She's pissed. She's like, more cat traffic through my house. All right, guys. Well, I'm glad everybody's here. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. My name's Ian, and I'm here with Daddy Kitty and Mama Bleep, and we are at Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, broadcasting worldwide, live on YouTube, the world's largest broadcast platform. And tonight, we are hanging out, doing our usual 9 p.m. show, and Daddy is just freaking out. He can't get enough. He just cannot get enough of the show. Or whatever, or the petting, or whatever it is. Anyway, all right. So there you go. I did get it. I did go through all the videos that are out. If anybody finds any protest videos, let me know. Portland Andy is out on a ride right now. That's upper right. Upper left is the Mayan volcano, and that's in the Philippines. And she's gurgling. And we've got a live feed from LaGuardia Airport, where you're staring at the aftermath of what was a horrific incident last night involving a jet airliner and a fire truck on the runway. And we're going to talk about that right up here, just a few minutes at the top of the show. We're also looking at pictures across Tel Aviv and Beirut and Jerusalem. And we're keeping an eye out there. Right before I went live, of course, the feed that I had up at the top up there went down. So I'm looking for something to replace that with. And I'll keep looking as the evening goes on here. I think there's not a lot of protesting going on this week because we've got the big one this weekend. We've been doing, I went and talked to one of the news directors back at the TV station that does the news coordination, and I said, "What do you think about this No Kings rally this weekend?" All politics aside, I don't know what his politics are, and he doesn't know what mine. Well, he knows what mine are because I work at Fox News radio station. But anyway, I asked him, and he says, "You know what?" He goes, "I got to tell you something." He goes, "We're looking at this as being a pretty big situation. We've got multiple events just in our viewing area." And we're a very red state in a very red county with mostly red cities, except possibly Sanibel, and Naples is a little purple. But most of our area down here is, in fact, very red. And we are still looking to have rallies down here. So I am going to be going live. I'm probably going to go, now that my computer is working much better, I'm going to go ahead and set up a new... excuse me, guys. I'm going to set up I got sundowner syndrome or something. I'm only 56 years old. I'm going to set up a 9 screen for my computer here so I can do 9 independent feeds. And then I'm going to go on as soon as I can fill the grid. I'm going to go on. And that could be at 9 o'clock in the morning. I have no idea. Last time they had one of these really big ones, the teachers union showed up in Minneapolis, and they showed up really early. You okay, Mama? What's wrong? Oh, man, I'm so tired tonight. I slept okay last night. I don't know why I'm so tired tonight. But anyway, I'm looking again. I don't see any new protest video. All right. Well, let's just talk about the news here. We'll find something to fill that hole with eventually. Right, Daddy Kitty? All right. Let's get the latest here. All right, this is a little unconventional, but let me just set this up real quick over here, and I'm just going to do it all on one screen. Just give me 1 second here. Let me set this up. Wow, Daddy, that's like power licking. What's with all the power licking? Okay, so apparently we had a situation last night. It was after the show last night, and oh, this isn't going to work. I'm gonna have to pull this up on both screens. Hold on. This is very difficult to do, especially with two cats wanting my attention. All right, the two pilots were killed after an Air Canada jet hits a fire truck, forcing New York's LaGuardia Airport to close down. And this was a horrific incident last night. Speaking as a former firefighter, this was just a horrific incident last night. You can see there the plane there. The two pilots were killed in New York's LaGuardia Airport late Sunday night after an Air Canada jet struck a Port Authority vehicle on the ground while landing. It was an Oshkosh, or one of those big. It might not have been that actual brand, but it was one of those big crash type trucks. More than 40 passengers, crew members, and aircraft rescue and firefighting officers were all hospitalized after the crash. The airport is expected to be closed. It did open up today midday around 1 or 2 o'clock. They were able to get it open, so that's a good thing. But this was just an absolutely horrific scene. Like I said, if it's good news, I mean, I call it good news. We only lost 2 people. That plane could have burst into flames. It might have been full of fuel. It was landing, so and where it was damaged, there's no fuel cells there. I mean, that was all going for them. That fire truck could have went over and sheared off a wing, and they all would have burned to death. So I think it was a good ending. Unfortunately for the 2 pilots, other than that, I can't believe so many people made it out of this. The firemen in the fire truck made it out. They're alive. They are injured but alive. The flight attendant that was ejected from the plane during the accident in her jump seat, and she's alive. She's going to need several surgeries. So I think it's amazing anybody survived. You can see there's no way those pilots could have lived. The cockpit was literally crushed off the front of the plane, unfortunately. And then once that happened, the weight of the plane brought the tail down. Planes are very well balanced on their rear tires. The front tire on a plane is very delicate because it's not that big of a piece of equipment. Doesn't really support that much of the weight of the plane. The rear wheels are nearly balanced. So when you break off a very heavy portion of the front of the plane, the entire plane pitches back and will just sit on its tail like that. So that's why it looks like that. Excuse the shitty producing here, but I'm just going to run these pictures down so you can see them. These are some other pictures. That truck there is very similar to the truck that it hit, some kind of big airport crash fire truck like that. And you can see where when it hit it, it just destroyed the whole front of the plane. It just, wow, what a terrible thing. I can only imagine responding to something like this. I responded to a number of plane crashes. 2 of them were actually plane crashes, but they were small ones. And in both cases, the people walked away from it. I couldn't believe it. But it did. Great, no audio. Let's see here. I think I can fix that. What is the deal? You know, anytime I try to play something or do something, it has to give me a big pile of shit. Jesus. Just give me a break sometimes. Just let the damn thing play. Aggravates me. You think it's gonna play this time? X?
Hello, bonjour. I'm Michael Russo, President and CEO of Air Canada. Today is a very somber day at Air Canada. I'm here to provide information on an accident that occurred involving a Air Canada Express aircraft. The aircraft was operated by Jazz Aviation LP, which operates flights on behalf of Air Canada. First, and most importantly, I want to express our deepest sorrow for everyone affected. Our efforts are focused on the needs of our passengers and crew members, along with their families and loved ones. We know this is a difficult day for everyone, including all of us at Air Canada. We know that there are many questions, but at this early stage, we do not have all the answers, as the circumstances are still being assessed. However, I do want to share the information I have at this time. The event happened at LaGuardia Airport after Air Canada flight AC-8646, operated by Jazz Aviation, a CRJ 900 aircraft traveling from Montreal to New York, had landed. Flight AC-8646 was carrying 72 passengers and 4 crew members, for a total of 76 people on board. We now know that the captain and the first officer were killed in this accident. We are deeply saddened by the loss of 2 Jazz employees, and our deepest condolences go out to the entire Jazz community and their families. We are working with the authorities to confirm the number of injuries and if there are any other fatalities. We are actively working with all relevant authorities.
Of the deadly plane crash at LaGuardia Airport late last night, we have got new video of the horrifying collision between that Air Canada flight and a Port Authority fire truck. Let's go to CB Cotton. She's covering the story for us from LaGuardia. Hi, CB.
Hey, John, yeah, we're getting our first look at the moment of impact between that Air Canada plane and a Port Authority fire truck. Take a look at this disturbing video. You can see the truck making its way down one of the runways. Its emergency lights are flashing. You have to look very closely. You see that truck moving straight as it begins to turn. The Air Canada plane slams into the truck, and the truck appears to flip several times. That's when the plane making its way down one of the runways. Its emergency lights are flashing. You have to look very closely. In video, you can see the truck making its way down one of the runways. Its emergency lights are flashing. You have to look very close. See the truck making its way down one of the runways. Its emergency lights are flashing. You have to Look very closely. You see that truck moving straight as it begins to turn. The Air Canada plane slams into the truck, and the truck appears to flip several times. That's when the plane looks like it loses control. See the truck making its way down one of the runways. It's emergency. The truck making its way down one of the runways. Its emergency lights are flashing. You have to look very closely. You see that truck. See the truck making its way down one of the runways. Its emergency lights are flashing. You have to look very closely. You see that trucking video. You can see the truck making its way down one of the runways. Its emergency lights are flashing. You have to look very closely. You see that truck moving straight as it begins to turn. The Air Canada plane slams into the truck, and the truck appears to flip several times.
Absolutely incredible. There you go. That's what it looked like. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the air traffic controller not only gave clearance when he shouldn't have, but right on the tape makes the spontaneous utterance, "I screwed up." So yeah, he's done. I don't know if they're gonna, I don't know. It's hard, people make mistakes. Do you put people in jail for mistakes? Well, he killed 2 people. I don't know. Yeah, you'll never get me in a frog suit, and you'll never get me out protesting the stupid shit that these idiots protest. I can tell you that. Yeah, I definitely think that there's an air traffic controller that's definitely home on suspension tonight. I don't know what's going to end up happening to him, but yeah, not good. Yep, it's awful. All right, I tell you, I don't know what else to say about it. It's a bad situation. Here's the latest information. Kat, you need to stop doing that, or I'm not going to let you sit up here. Okay? He likes to claw, and I've got one of those big, huge mouse pads because I got 3 or 4 mouses up here, and he reaches out and grabs it and pulls it out from underneath all my stuff and then sits it back down. And I'm like, now I got to put it all back in again. He just likes to do it, I think, because it gets my attention, but whatever. I don't know. There's been reports that they were shorthanded. There's been reports that they were not shorthanded. So I don't know. That'll have to come out in the wash. All right, so investigators have recovered the cockpit voice recorder, the CVR, and the flight data recorder. I figured the one, I think the CVR, I think, is usually in the very back, and then the FDR is usually in the front, but it's not always that way. I was wondering if both would be salvageable. I know one will because it was in the back, and the back was not even damaged. So I think we definitely got the one in the back. But I don't think any of that's going to be really all that helpful because we already know exactly what happened. We've got the air traffic control. All we're going to get is about 2 seconds of reaction sound from the 2 pilots. They might have uttered something like, "Oh my God, oh look at that, here is that guy coming across the runway," and so that might give us a little bit of insight, but we know what happened. You can see it. We've already got it on film. We're watching it right on video. In today's age, at an airport like LaGuardia, now not one of the biggest airports in the world, it's more of a national airport, but LaGuardia, it nevertheless has cameras looking everywhere, so we're going to get it on film. They said the cockpit voice recorder was not damaged and has already been transported to D.C. for analysis. She explained that in order to get the recorders, they had to cut a hole in the roof of the aircraft. The recorders were then taken back to NTSB Labs. See that the other one, the digital recorder in the front, may be damaged in pretty bad shape. That's usually kept below the pilots in the avionics bay. But not always. Again, it's different for different planes. Yeah. Okay. So, uh, investigators are working to determine key details, including the position of the aircraft and the fire truck in the moments before the crash. I don't know. They'll investigate the shit out of this. But anyway. And so today I'm researching this for the show tonight, earlier, before I went to work. And what came up was the Sioux City, Iowa crash. And there is I wish I could put the two together. But if you guys are into this kind of thing, okay, I used to study this stuff because I used to teach what to do on an aircraft rescue to my guys. And so I used to study this stuff, and even to this day, I still do. And yeah, this is United Flight 232. And I'm going to bring this up tonight because you guys know when there's something going on like this, I try to bring something in that's related or that's similar. And this one is in some ways similar. And it also came up today 2 different times because I had searched for this crash earlier. So Google thought I was looking for plane crashes. And so it started. And so I watched just before I went to work. I sat here and watched the Sioux City crash, but I watched a different one. This one was a 50-minute documentary that was done, like a cable documentary, that was done on the crash, and it actually showed the pilots working it. There was a trainer in the back, and he came up, and it took 4 of them to get this thing on the ground, and it did cartwheel at the end. But over half of them survived. It was an amazing story. There's 296 passengers. 111 died, but 184 people survived. There was even 13 passengers. This plane cartwheeled, blew up, caught on fire. The 4 pilots lived. The cockpit came off. The whole front nose came off, and it rolled. And when they finally found it, they're like, hey, look, there's some smoldering thing over there. Go put it out. And they send the guy over to put it out, and he realizes all 4 of the pilots are still alive inside that cockpit. And they're all interviewed in this special that I watched. So I'm going to see if I can get my... I don't know. When I think something's really interesting, I like to pass it along. So let me see if I can figure this out here. History. I watched it earlier, so it should be in my history. Of course not. That would have made it way too easy, wouldn't it? All right, just give me a few seconds here. Yeah, the neat thing about this particular one, this was an impossible landing. It was there was no way these guys were ever landing this plane, and they still managed to get it down on the ground and save over half the people on board. And that's just to me, that's just amazing. Let me see, is this the one? Yeah, I think this is it here. I just want to make sure it's. I want to make sure it's the same one I just watched, and I'm going to give you guys the link to it. And then there's also a movie that was made years ago, because this fire department in Sioux City had just implemented a bunch of new plans, and they had just put out new stuff, and they had just done a big training on aircraft drills and everything else. There was a lot of things that really came together. This isn't it. This is a different one. That's not even the same. That's not even the same kind of plane. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is the link. I mean, if you guys are into it, this is the link to the one I watched today, and it was really good about these pilots all working together to get this thing. This plane had an engine explode on it, all right? And when this engine blew up, it took out all the hydraulics, and they still managed to get this thing on the ground. They came in 70 knots too fast, and they had no control, and they still managed to save over half the people on this plane. I don't know. If you're into this sort of thing, let me find the other one here. Boy, there's a bunch of stories on this one. There's actual footage of it coming in also. They call it the impossible landing. And it was quite that. Here it is, guys. This is the landing of this plane I'm telling you about in Sioux City. And like I said, this wrote some of the book on how we treat plane crashes today. This thing came in and it rolled, and you can kind of see they're rolling away to the up and to the right there. That was the cockpit that still had 4 living men inside, and they all are still kicking today. But anyway, if you're, this is a good one to study. Because when everything went wrong, everybody did everything right. And they still saved a lot of people. So anyway, there you go. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. I'm trying to find that movie. It's called Crash Landing, The Rescue of Flight 232. It's a 1992 American disaster drama.
Tonight's film is a dramatization based on personal...
Holy shit, it's here. And it's free. Here's the link, guys. It's a 2-hour movie. And I would probably watch the documentary first, because the documentary is more about what happens on the plane, and the other movie is more about what happens on the ground. So it's 3 hours of watching there, and I think you'll find it to be very interesting. Anyway, there you go. I just wanted you to see that. The Gimli glider. Yes, I actually watched that one not long ago. It's one of my little things I do. It's I don't know why, but I do. I watch the aircraft. I like Mentor Pilot, and I like 3 or 4 of these different shows that are now all on YouTube about all these crashes and stuff. So yeah, there you go. If you're into that stuff, this is a good one to study. I gave you the 2 links. The first one is the documentary. It's an hour long. The second one is a 2-hour docudrama that has the guy that played John Boy as the EMS chief. And I can't remember the guy's name. He's a big star that plays the fire chief. Great movie. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. We used to watch this movie at the firehouse. Yes. Yeah, that's how old it is, 92 or something. When this movie came out, I watched it, and I ended up taping it on a tape, on a blank, a blank video cassette tape. They were $6 or $8 a piece back then. That's like $15 in adjusted money. Anyway, I took one of these tapes and stuck it in there, and I recorded this movie. I even sat there and cut the commercials out and everything. And then about once a year, the guys would come in for training. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go out. We're going to drill for about 45 minutes. We're going to take a break. We're going to come in. I'm going to show you guys a movie. And that's what we would do. And the guys would come in and sit down. And I would bring in the projection TV or whatever we had. And at one point, it was a 26-incher on a stand. I would bring that in, and we would put on this movie and sit and watch it. And then we would talk about it a little bit, and I'd let them go home. It was good because the movie, it's kind of like that show Emergency in a way, because right before that plane crashed, like the months before that plane crashed, they had just gotten all of this training, and they had started doing all this drills, and they started putting out more medical equipment and training secondary personnel to be able to take vitals and work with triage and things like that. And so it was cool because he kind of struggles at the very beginning of the movie to get people to take it seriously. That, hey, man, one day a plane's going to drop out of the sky here in Sioux City. And sure enough, not long after he got the program going and got everything built and everything, a plane dropped out of the sky in Sioux City. And they were ready, and that's part of the reason so many people are still alive today. So there you go. But anyway, it's a great story. Like I said, it came up today automatically, so I figured I would mention it because there was something in the cards about that one. All right, so there you go. And then in a few years, or maybe a few months, we'll be able to watch all the documentaries on this crash. But anyway, this one here is quite... Daddy, this is getting old. You realize how old this is getting. Hey, what are you doing? Mama. Making a bunch of noise. Daddy, you're loving the shit out of me. Yes, the original Red Dawn was a great movie. I don't know if I watched the new one or not. I don't know if I wanted to. I'm so afraid it's just going to be disappointing. They always feel like they have to change everything, and there was nothing wrong with the original Red Dawn. Black Sheep Squadron was a good show. I remember that. Yep. The Gimli glider, I remember that. That was a good story. These guys literally, they were way up there too, thank God. And they ran out of fuel, and they lost power because the power is made by the fuel. And they dropped their little thing that spins and gives them electricity. They were able to figure out where they were. They were able to find an island with a runway on it, and they were able to get it to that and put it down. It's another great story if you're into plane crash / planes almost crashing. That's a really good one there. That's a good one. That captain had it. He had it figured out, man. When you get on a plane, the captain gets on. You see him walk up there. You don't think nothing about it. But there's a slight chance that man's going to have to save your life in the next 4 hours. I don't know. I think about shit like that. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, I liked Red Dawn quite a bit. The original one it was very good. I think one of the reasons it was so good was because it wasn't a feel good story. It wasn't. Even at the end, they're pretty much all dead, but 2 of them. And the war's still going on. It was actually made for a sequel that never happened, which is probably good because it would have sucked. But they left that with those 2 people making it to the border, to the other side, the last two people, and everybody else was dead. So I don't know. I guess maybe not. You could do a sequel if you wanted to. Yep, meteor showers. We're tracking the skies pretty good. We're reaching the point where we will have the ability, or even have the ability now, to possibly deflect an object that's coming at us. There will be a time in humans' future when we will need to save ourselves from a rock in space. We're almost to the point where we can do it. Yeah, I don't want a DEI pilot. I don't care who the pilot is, as long as they're fully qualified and they weren't hired because of who they are. That was the thing that they used to give Charlie Kirk such a hard time about, because he made the statement that, when I'm on a plane and two black pilots get on and walk to the front, the thought crosses his mind, are those DEI hires? Meaning that they hired them because they're black, maybe, and not because they were the most qualified pilots. And it sounds mean, but when you think about it, there's nothing racist about it. Okay? The racism is in the system, not in talking about the system. Okay? And Charlie Kirk got a lot of shit over that. To this day, they call him, he's a racist. He said he wouldn't trust no black pilot. That's not what he said. That's absolutely not what he said at all. And let me turn that clicking. I know what that is. Let me get rid of that. He's not racist at all. He wasn't had a damn racist bone in his body. But they call him that because of that statement. And the truth is, he's absolutely correct. When you see that, it's like when I see an engine pull up from Miami-Dade Fire and 3 black guys get off the engine. Okay, I know how they hire out there. It's not racist for me to think, oh, I hope these guys are qualified, not because they're black, but because they hire every black person that walks in the door. Back when I worked at the fire department 25 years ago, Miami-Dade was discriminating against white people back then. They would literally... everybody went through the same tests except the women. They had easy tests. And then after everybody went through their tests and the women went through the easier tests, then everybody would take written tests and everything. And then when the scores would come out, they would put everybody in one of 4 lists. If you were a female, you went in this list. If you were an other than black or white male, you went in this list. If you were a black male, you went in this list. If you were a white male, you went in this list. Okay, so this list had 5 ladies in it, and that's it. 5. This list here had about 15 or 20 Hispanic guys and a couple from Europe. Okay, and this list here had about 35 black guys in it. Many of them very qualified. But this line here, had 375 white people in it. So logically, if everybody's equal, which is what they want you to believe, and then they turn around and pull this shit. If everybody's equal, then logic would dictate that the majority of the people we're going to hire are going to be white, because 90% of the people that applied were white. But that's not how we do it. What we're going to do is we're going to take 1 from the woman list, 1 from the Hispanic list, 1 from the black list, 1 from the white list. 2 from the woman list, 2 from the Hispanic list, 2 from, and you get the point. Okay? And then when the women run out, because there was only 4, then we just take Hispanic, black, white, Hispanic, black, white, Hispanic, black, white, and we keep doing that until we filled all the positions. Which means all the women got a job, all the Hispanics got a job, nearly all the black folks got a job, and only 9% of the white people got a job. And that's somehow, that's not racist. Somehow that's not racist. I don't understand. And they still, to this day, that's how they hire. They've hired this way for 30 plus years. And if you're a white male, you need not apply. Unless you can get 100 on the testing, and then you can score really, really, really high on the physical agility stuff, and you have a perfect physical. If everything comes out perfect, because you have to be in the top 9% of the white folks to get in. However, we hired almost all the black folks, we hired all the Hispanic folks, and we hired every woman that walked in the door. As long as she passed, doesn't matter how good, as long as she passed. There's white men on this list over here that could lift 150 more pounds. There's white men on this list that have bachelor's degrees in fire science and fire administration. There's white men on this list that have 10 years of experience already. There's white men on this list that run marathons. Okay? Doesn't matter. We're taking the women, no matter how qualified they are. We're taking the black men, no matter how qualified they are. And we're taking the Hispanic men, no matter how qualified they are. And then we're taking the 20 most qualified white people. And that's it. And so all these white men that went and came to these tests and everything, they get flushed. They get flushed. So 340 white guys don't get the job. That is so incredibly unfair to me. It's actually one of the reasons I got out of public safety. Because there was no moving up for me. I'm white. I'm straight. I'm American. Would you stop? You just shut everything down. What did you do? You need to stop, buddy. Yep, I'm straight, I'm white, and I'm an American citizen. That pretty much makes me unqualified for a fire job anywhere. So, it really upsets me. And that's why it really upsets me when they call Charlie Kirk a racist because of that statement about the airline pilots. Because I understand exactly what Charlie Kirk was saying that day. And I think most intelligent people understood exactly what Charlie Kirk was saying that day. Has nothing to do with black folks. I don't care who flies my plane. I don't care if it's a leprechaun. As long as he's got the hour on type, and he's qualified, has all the certifications. Get up there and fly, my friend. Oh, fasten your seatbelts. I can just imagine it would be fun. I don't care who flies the plane. I really don't care. A troll from under the bridge. I really don't care. As long as it gets me there. The point is, I want the most qualified leprechaun I can find. Not just any leprechaun that they hired off the street. I want the most qualified leprechaun. And if there wasn't a qualified leprechaun, then none of them get hired. That's the way it should be with black folks, white folks, green folks, gray folks, yellow folks. I don't care what color you are, okay? It shouldn't matter. All I give a shit about, how much can you lift? How much can you drag out? How long can you hold your breath? Are you going to be able to rescue these people if they're dying in a fire? That's what I want to know. That's what I need to know. I don't care what color you are. And that fire chief woman in L.A., they interviewed her. And she said, well, they asked her, they said, don't you think it's important that the people that come to your house to put out the fire are qualified? And she says, well, we feel that it's most important that when they pull up and get out of the engine, that they look like the cross diversity of the people that they're protecting. And the interviewer says, isn't it more important that they can pull someone out of a burning building? And the woman actually says, maybe they shouldn't be in a building that's on fire. And when I heard that, I fell out of my chair. We played that on the air several times here on the radio station. It was absolutely crazy. I just, oh my God, I just can't believe it. I can't believe to this day. I don't think I could find that real quick. But you know what? I can try. Let me just look real quick. she's acting out because he's in here. She does not like him being in here. Do you guys believe this Sheriff Grady Judd down here, man? I'm gonna tell you guys, I don't know what this idiot's thinking. He was like the law and order sheriff. There was probably only 3 or 4 sheriffs in the whole country that were this law and order like this guy. I mean, and he comes out and says, "Well, maybe we shouldn't deport him. Maybe we should just give him a path to citizenship." And I'm like, "What? What are you saying, dude? Do you even know what you're saying?" Absolutely crazy. I just can't believe it. I'll never find this. Anyway, I guess I'll just have to take my word for it. But this woman, she actually says that maybe you shouldn't find yourself in a house that's on fire. I mean, if that's not crazy, I don't know what is. Oh well. It'd be nice if I could find shit. Okay. All right, I'm going to give up on that because I don't think I'm going to be able to find it now. I would have found it already if the keywords were going to work. Shit. Oh well. All right, that's it. I can't find it. I give up. I give up, you guys. I hate you guys. All right, let's see if we got any protest video I can put up. Let's see what the hell's going on. I don't think there is any protesting. I think they're saving all their Soros-funded bullshit for Saturday. That could be deplorable, but I was actually looking in my emails. Trey sent me the link and I pulled it. If I had remote access to the station, which I don't yet because of the move and everything, but once I have that remote access, I probably could have found it easier and played it right over the remote access. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be caught in that situation. Now, coming from a retired fire chief, you guys know that's what I did for a living, okay? I worked my way from volunteer firefighter to paid firefighter, engineer, lieutenant, which I did for many years as the training officer for the department. I served as a captain for a short time, and then a deputy fire chief, and finally 2.5 years as fire chief, and I had enough, and I retired, and I stayed on for a year and helped the next guy get going, and then I left. And it was my pleasure to work there for 17 years. But with my back, I was done. And so when I hear something like that, because I was even the PIO for my department too, and now I work in the media, so it's given me a really unique view on a lot of this stuff. To make a statement like, if someone asked me as a fire chief, isn't it dangerous for your guys to go in? And I say something like, yeah, maybe we should think of that before we go and crawl up, before we're found inside a burning building or something. That's ridiculous. You know what they call that? What is going on back here? They call that victim blaming. The left is famous for this. They call it victim blaming. And that's exactly what this is. And they're saying, hey, you want a bunch of big burly men to show up. We don't have burly men anymore. We're a whole engine company of lesbians. And we're showing up and we're all butched up and we'll try to help. But that being said, maybe you shouldn't, now that you know that the girls are coming, maybe you shouldn't find yourself in a burning house. So that's some ignorant shit right there. I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. Well, as much as I wish they didn't have to cut down as many trees as they do, I do efforts here locally to not only I don't get involved too much with trees and stuff, but I do a lot with the historic buildings. I bring a lot of awareness to local buildings that they're trying to tear down. The cities around here. They don't care about history. There's not a lot of history here. Our oldest buildings are only 150 years old. Florida didn't become popular until they invented the damn air conditioner. And so we've got very little history here. And our county commissioners and our city wardsmen, or whatever they call those idiots, these people are they don't give a shit about historic property. They really don't. Tear it down, build an overpass. Let's get it on. And although I'm for building overpasses, I think we can save some of these older structures. I think it's a good thing to save history and preserve history, and I just don't see it being done that much anymore. It's kind of out of favor right now. And every year that we're not saving these buildings, we're losing them. You don't get them back. It's laughable to me when the city will push and push and push to tear a building down. They want that building, tear it down, 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 tear it down. Finally, somebody buys it and they tear it down. And then they go to build something there and the city goes, oh, if you're going to build it back, it needs to look like the one you tore down. Now, I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. That's the kind of shit they do. No, we're preserving the past by faking it. That's right. Just like Disney, it's all storefront facades. We're gonna save history by faking it. That's what that's called. Yeah, deploribus. We do forestry management down here, which is something they need to get back to in the western states. We do forestry management here. Once a forest goes 6 or 8 years and it hasn't burned, 10 years and it hasn't burned, it's deemed to be very thick and dangerous. Our forestry will come out on a day when the humidity's high and the wind is low, and they will light that on the back burn side and just sit out there and watch it burn. And they'll burn it right off really slow. That saves all the pine trees. It gets rid of most of the underbrush. And it also enriches the soil. I believe in prescribed forest. I believe in prescribed burning. That was a mama kitty that just went by at Warp 3. I believe in all that. But that's where the left screws up. They're like, we can't burn the forests because of the squirrels. We can't do this because of the yellow-bellied leech fish that's in that one pond over there. Oh, and we can't do anything over here because of the orange-tailed iguana. And before you know it, you can't do anything. And then next thing you know, the whole damn state's burning down now. The whole state's burning down. Why? Because we didn't manage our forests for the last 20 years, because we didn't want to mess up that little slug or screw up that little salamander. Yep. Yeah, the environmentalists make it very difficult to manage the forests. Once they take away forestry, both U.S. forestry and the state forestry services, and even in some big counties, they'll have a small forestry division that works on things too. Once you tie the hands of all these foresters everywhere, that's it. We're done. The forests are going to become overgrown. And now when they burn, three things happen. They burn really hot and really fast because all that fuel is there. Number two, they burn houses on the urban interface. The urban interface is that area where the houses and the trees come together. And because all this is all overgrown and very thick, you lose houses all along the urban interface, all right? Number three, you lose all your trees because when it burns through so incredibly hot that it kills the pine trees. It kills the hardwoods. It actually ruins all your trees. What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm on the air and you're making all this racket. I know you're not happy about Daddy being in here. It's all right. She's literally pissed off. She's just knocking my shit over just to be a bitch right now because she's pissed off. Yeah, they clear the forest with the Santa Ana winds. Boy, that's the truth. I covered those brush fires last year. We're coming up in that again. You know they've only rebuilt like 23 houses. Jesus God, guys, they've only rebuilt like 20. I don't. Let me see. Let's get the latest numbers here. Let's get the latest numbers. my cat identifies as boss. You're right. You're right, neighbor. That's always the way it is. All right, so rebuilding progress after the 2025 Los Angeles wildfires as of today in March 2026. The Palisades Fire and Eaton Fire, January 2025, destroyed. Now, this is January 2025. We're in March 2026, so 14 months ago, fire destroyed or severely damaged roughly 13 to 16,000 structures, mostly residential homes across Los Angeles County, with the hardest hit areas being the Pacific Palisades and Altadena. Fully rebuilt and completed. Less than 30 homes have been rebuilt. Most sources put it between 7 and 28 homes that have actually been fully rebuilt or are being occupied as of March 2026. This is an extremely slow pace. Less than 0.2% of destroyed homes has been replaced. And it's mostly not the banks, not the owners, not the construction workers, not the contractors. It's the government. It's obstruction by the government that's causing this. Under construction, as of right now, there's approximately 900 homes that are in the planning phase or are getting permits to be built. According to Los Angeles, they have issued 2,894 rebuild permits. However, many of those are still caught up with some kind of process or another. The city of Los Angeles has about 1,900 that they're working through in progress. Out of roughly 13,000 homes and businesses destroyed, 13 to 16,000, only a tiny fraction, well under 10%, have been fully rebuilt or are in the process of being rebuilt. About 1,400 are actively under construction at the most at this time. And that includes where permits have been issued and no construction has started yet. Rebuilding has been delayed by insurance disputes, government contractor disputes, high construction costs, permitting bottlenecks, especially with certain counties and cities, and LA. Even in the streamlined process that they claim to have, it's not working. And then after that, even when you get your permits, they're dealing with some labor shortages, many homeowners being underinsured or unable to afford the much stricter guidelines. They're doing what everybody does. Your house burns down in a fire. Now when you build it back, it has to be perfect. It has to be sprinklered. It has to have all the setbacks. It has to be built to fire standards. It has to be perfect. It has to be all to the 2026 standards for storms and everything else. And guess what? Your insurance paid you 80% of what your last house was worth. That's only about 40 or 50% of what your next one's going to be worth just to get the same square footage. Now think about that. A lot of these people are literally downsizing their square footage so they can stay on their property and they can afford to build it without taking out huge notes. Is there one person at the Portland protest? All right. Maybe if I can get a link, if anybody can find a link, let me see if I can, let me refresh that tab and see what comes up. No, I still don't see anything coming up. This one channel's been running a video that says 1 minute ago in the thumbnail for 5 days now. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. All right, so there you go. I think that's crazy that all those people lost their homes 14 months ago, and 92% of them still have not even got a permit to rebuild their house yet, even if they can. You know what? You know why so many of them didn't? Yeah, you can blame the government, the permitting and all, but do you want to know what else it is? I'll tell you what else it is. People don't want to build back. They're selling the property. They want out. And the property's worthless. This property is worthless. Yeah. We can talk about that for a few minutes too. I'm wondering what's going to happen Saturday. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I talked to the newsroom. I talked to several people back in the newsroom, and they're saying that Saturday's supposed to be really big. I don't know how late it's going to go. I know it's going to be in all the normal places, but it's also, we've got 4 or 5 of them right in our area here. 2 for sure right in my county. So they're doing. So yeah, there you go. What else do we got going on? Anything else? All right, so yeah, Saturday, we're just going to have to see what happens. I'm going to be here. I've already scheduled everything around Saturday because I don't know how early I'm going to go on. I'm going to have the Linux computer on standby as well. I'm probably going to discontinue that other stream on Saturday. And if it gets real busy, I've done it before, I get the mic for that one and stick it over here next to me, and I just talk on both of them. And I literally just simulcast on both of them. Yeah, this No Kings is supposed to be their big thing. Who knows? I mean, are the vagina hats going to show up? I think some of the vagina hats are down in Cuba staying at a 5-star hotel right now. All right, yeah, I'm just getting that in now. I'm just seeing it. Looks like we've had an explosion at a Texas oil refinery. Stand by. I'm trying to get information on it now, and I'll get video up for you guys. Just bear with me. Of course, we always have to worry, is this some kind of attack or something, or shit, nobody has live. I don't have anything live coming out of there. All right, I'm going to put in the middle here. This is what it looks like. This is what we've got coming out. Right now, these are 3 replays of different videos that are going on, so I'm just going to let that go. Yeah, I'm just going to let that go like that. I just squared it up a little bit for you there. That's what it looks like. I'm looking for more video right now. Where the shit is this? Port Arthur, Texas. So let me see what the TV news is in Port Arthur, Texas. Here's Fox 4 Vermont. All right, shelter in place order issued. That's just a little short thing. I don't know if anybody's actually live yet with it. Watch live. Shut up.
One hand, it's sealed.
All right, let's see what comes up there. Let me move this to another screen. See what comes up there. Here's 12 News Now. Let's see if they've got anything live. And nobody's live with this yet, which is surprising considering it's, you know, during the week. They're saying no injuries. It's a Valero Company plant.
Granger knows that if your school
Shut up.
last year.
Up there in some kind of damn commercial.
Well, it's no secret so far this year.
I got two local feeds up, and they're both like showing stupid stories that you wouldn't believe. Trust me, if a refinery went up in this town, and we don't have any of those, but if the refinery went up here, it would be a little bit of a breaking news thing, I think. I can't believe nobody has any. I have no live views from there. That's ridiculous. No cameras. I was kind of hoping to find some cameras up there. Nothing. Nope. Incredible. I don't know. So few people smoke nowadays. Not only that, but nowhere do they allow it. So I don't know. I'm watching two different local newses from this area, and neither one of them are talking about it. Oh, hey, Victor. Yeah, the cats are great. I got Daddy right here. Say hi. Hi, everybody. And I got Daddy, I got Mama right over there, and Ed Earl's right outside the door. Yeah, maybe an EV blew up. That's probably more likely than a cigarette nowadays. But yeah, we're just hanging out here. I'm not feeling well tonight. My health has been real good the last 5 or 6 days, but tonight not so good. Getting ready. I'm gonna go right to bed here in just a minute. I had a big old hamburger from Dairy Queen for dinner. Big old hamburger. I had the bacon double cheese bacon hamburger one with it has like it comes with onion rings, but I have them leave that shit off. But it's got barbecue sauce on it and mayonnaise and a couple of patties and bacon and I think it's got like provolone cheese or something. It's pretty good though. It really is. It's a good burger, and their fries are good. So I've been getting that. You know, when you're on the way home, the intersections here, I wish it would stop doing that. Oh my God, I wish it would stop doing that. I would give anything if it would never do that again. Oh shit, something's going on outside. Hold on. Cops are ruthless in this neighborhood. There they go. 3 cop cars right in a row. They got something going on in here. They didn't have their lights on, but they're all running together, hauling ass. I heard woo, 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 like 3 or 4 different sirens all at once out there. And I just went and pulled up my 360 tower cam up at 40 feet. And I could see them leaving. I have 3 towers in my yard, and I have a camera. I have a pan tilt zoom on each of the 3 towers. So nothing goes on here that I don't know about. And I can set them and leave them and record them and do whatever I want with them. But anyway, there's that. I don't know what they got going on, but something's going on out there. All right. Oh, there you go. I'm generally pro cop, but I've been pretty upset with the way they've been getting a little loose, a little fast and loose with the Constitution, and it's let's just say it aggravates me. The main thing we've got in this whole world is that Constitution, and I'm not going to let anybody violate it. I don't care who you are. And when I see cops like doing the job that I used to do, violating the shit out of people, I'm like, wait a minute, guys. No, they don't have to. You don't have to give your name unless you're arrested. You don't have to give your name unless you're driving a car. Those are the only two reasons. And I don't know. I wish the cops would back down a little bit, because it takes people like me that was a cop and it likes cops, and it puts me at odds. It puts me over on the other side of the fence, and I don't want to be on that side of the fence, because I actually kind of like the police. I mean, I think we need these guys. I wish they would be good. Put the ego away. Go out, do a good job. That's what you do. Okay, we lost our feed from the airport there, it looks like. Yep, I don't see anything new. Let me check again here for the oil refinery situation. You've got to be shitting me. This is fake. I'm going to put this in the big window, and I want you guys to look at this, and let's see if it plays. It may not play. Look at this. Now, it's going to stop, and that's all it's going to show you. I want you guys to take a look at something. That is a computer-generated image. It's fake. You can tell that smoke doesn't look right. Smoke widens out as it goes up. It doesn't stay in a line like that. I can tell you right now that this is a fake video. They're literally spoofing using AI to make fake videos of oil refinery attacks over in the Middle East. So I wanted to just show you what's going on. I cannot believe that is a fake image, a fake little piece of video that they've got there. Incredible. All right, guys. Anything else we want to talk about here? Um, yeah, commies. They call each other comrade. That's true. I don't use that one because of not a big communist fan. Hi, Daddy. What you doing, Bubba? Oh, really? Maybe you ate a little fast. Maybe that's why. It sounds like you're about to puke it up right on my desk. Don't do that on the air, especially. That's lowbrow, man. It's low class. Seriously. Yeah, with Newsom as president. This is the only place in the world where you can become a mayor and completely run a city. I mean, completely run that bitch into the ground, okay? And then get elected as the governor. And then spend the entire time as governor running that bitch into the ground. And I mean financially, morally, in debt, crazy bullshit. This a state that's in abstract ruin and complete corruption, and just a complete waste of federal funds, a complete waste of sperm, and everything else. And now he wants to be the president. What a country we live in, that you could literally ruin one of the biggest cities in the country and then ruin the biggest state in the country and turn around and actually be seriously considered for president. That's amazing to me. That the Democrat Party is so stupid that they're going to pick a 3-time loser, basically, to be their nominee. Falling forward. Biden did that quite a bit on the stairs for Air Force One. He would always fall forward instead of backwards. That's why he was still in office there. That's pretty cool, Dom. It's an ATX-20 receiver. Let me look that up real quick. I'm not familiar with it. I mean, I may be, I don't even know, but let me take a quick look here. I don't see it on Amazon. Huh. I generally only buy shit if I can get it on Amazon. Oh, okay. I know which one that is. Yep. I think Joseph's got one like that. No, those are great little receivers. But you're going to have the same thing you've got. The thing with these little receivers that get me, Dom, is they send them to you and they send you the little rabbit ears or the little antenna. And this is just like any other receiver. It's only as good as the antenna. You could literally take a spool, like a 500-foot spool of wire, and just go string it all around your yard and run it into this thing, and it would pick up great. If you hook this, I believe it's a BNC. You can BNC into your HF antenna outside, or BNC into your VHF, or BNC into your whatever you got out there, a wire antenna, an infed, whether a hex, whatever you've got going on out there, that'll hook right into this little box. Well, that's good, Kevin. I down on ham radio quite a bit, but it's not the radio part, it's the people part. I find ham radio people to be a sour bunch of old pricks most of the time. But then again, as I move through it and I find more and more good people, I'm kind of getting back into it more and more myself, to be honest with you. I've been going to a lot of. You're a beef radio guy. Well, there you go. I went to 3 conventions in a row, and I loved them all. I went to the Stone Mountain, the Atlanta Ham Fest. I went to Plant City to the Tampa Ham Fest, and then I went to Hamcation to the Orlando Ham Fest, all in a matter of about 4 or 5 months. And I am back into it like crazy, man. I bought a bunch of antennas. I bought me an FT710, which I love. It's a great radio. And I've been doing all kinds of stuff. I'm actually working FT8 right now a little bit every day because I want to get that 250 award on QRZ. I've got a number of their awards. I've got almost 28,000 contacts, and I'm trying to get that that award on QRZ for. God, my throat's going, guys. I'm gonna have to call it soon. It's the 250th anniversary of our country award, and what you have to do is get 250 American contacts between now and July 4th to get the award. So I'm already halfway there. I'm 53% there. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll be able to get that. Oh, my favorite cut of beef, I'll be glad to share. Mine is a ribeye. Used to be, when I was a kid, it was called a Delmonico. And I don't know why that changed. For 25 years, we ate Delmonico steaks. And then all of a sudden, one day, we ask about a Delmonico steak, and they go, oh, they're ribeyes now. They changed the name. They're ribeyes. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's cool. So from then on, it was a ribeye. But that's my favorite cut. It's an amazing cut. It's somewhat expensive. I buy a ribeye steak that is cut thin. It's cut into 6 little, very thin steaks, and then I fry those up 3 at a time with some broccoli or something, and that's a great keto meal. Oh, dispatch. I want an open chat room, but I don't blame you. It's a pain in the ass sometimes. If you're going to just cover one specific topic and you're not going to get into politics and you're going to just do, don't put up with it. When you get a troll in there, if you're not looking for numbers or you're not looking to get your numbers beefed up or you're not looking for algorithmic help and stuff like that, then just get rid of them. Just boot them out. Screw them. Just use the shit out of them, and when you're done with them, throw them out. See, T-bones are fine, but I would much rather have a ribeye. Yeah, I'm sorry. I made you hungry. Yep, it's also a lot of seasoning. I season my steaks when I cook them, whether it's in the pan or whether it's on the grill. I season my steaks with fresh peppercorns. I got a 3-color peppercorn blend, and I grind those fresh right onto the steak while it's cooking. And an Everglades seasoning. One of the few products that I literally will plug because it's one of my favorite things in the whole world. It's called Everglades seasoning, and I put some of this on there. And the only other thing I put, I don't know where my bottle is, but I've got it. It's just garlic. You can, garlic is one of those things you can overdo garlic. If you're not a good cook and you use a lot of garlic, that's a crutch. Garlic is a crutch. But yeah, I just buy cheap old garlic. I put some of this on there. This is important for steaks. It's great on certain vegetables and stuff like that, but don't overdo it with the garlic. Some people just they start putting garlic on everything because they're just not really good at cooking and they don't understand what they're trying to do with garlic. Garlic is a great thing for like green beans is my favorite thing. Green beans with Brummel and Brown butter, which is that yogurt butter that I use, and this right here, amazing. I eat that 4 or 5 nights a week. I eat the broccoli florets in the Brummel and Brown, cooked in the microwave in the steam bag, and then I put that garlic and a little bit of Everglades on them, and man, those are good. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, growing your own stuff, man, the yield is going. The bad part of it is, if you're cooking just for yourself and you got a little garden going, it's a great thing to do. It's a perfect thing to do, and it's great to have those skills. It's just hard when you got a family of 4 or 5. If you were like people say, well, I'm gonna grow a little garden about 4 foot by 4 foot so my family can eat if something happens. And I'm like, you're not going to feed a family with 4 foot by 4 foot. You would need the whole backyard. And then somebody's got to sit out there all night with a gun. That's why I used to be one of these prepper survivor kind of guys. And as time goes on, I've realized I'm a feeder now. So it is what it is. I don't think I'm going to live long after the end comes. So anyway, I plan on just living out to my old age and dying. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's see what else we got. I'm still watching these 2 newscasts over here. Neither one of them have even so much as mentioned the refinery fire. So I don't know what's going on there. Oregano and rosemary. I love the different spices. There's only about 12 of them I use. Again, I'm not a chef. I'm a firehouse cook. I used to cook. I realized early on at the firehouse, even before I was promoted to an officer rank, I would show up at night and I was the rookie and I had to wash the dishes every night. Big piles of freaking dishes. And it used to piss me off. I hated washing dishes. It makes my back hurt. So I asked them, I said, why do I got to always do the dishes? And they're like, because whoever the least senior 1 or 2 people are do the dishes unless you cook. Oh. So I went over to my mom's house to have dinner that next night. And I said, Mom, I need you to teach me how to make pot roast. So we sat there. We made the whole meal, top to bottom. I go into work a couple days later, and I bring a pressure cooker with me, and I make them guys the best pot roast they've ever ate in their life. And within a few months, I was the cook at the firehouse. Every time my mother would teach me to cook something new, I got a spice rack. I started keeping everything there, and at one point I bought pots. I bought bowls. I bought all kinds of stuff because I got into it, man. I got into cooking for the guys. It was performance to me. I could cook a great meal. They would all sit around and enjoy it. I love that. I love making people happy. I love making people laugh, and I love making people feel good. So it worked for me. It was a winner, and so I started cooking all the time. Next thing you know, I'm promoted to lieutenant. I don't think anybody else ever cooked meals. I cooked every night I worked. I cooked. I even came in sometimes on my day off and cooked for the other guys. I did lots of cooking, special events. I would work a griddle all day long, cooking sausage and onions and peppers. My shirt, you could wring it out. I'm wearing an apron that's dripping in oil. It was disgusting. And guess what? I don't eat the peppers, I don't eat the onions, and I don't eat the sausage. But I would make that shit all day long because we were selling it, at the fair or whatever. And I just became the cook. And I'm not that good at it. It just, if I could get good enough that I could impress the guys and they liked what I was cooking, next thing you know, I never have to wash dishes. I don't think I washed dishes in that station for almost 12 years because I cooked every meal. That's weird. It's strange how the weather and the soil conditions each year will give you an entirely different crop, even though you're using the same seeds. Really? Zorin Linux. I'll install that this weekend if it's easy to do. You know what I mean. All right, well. All right, I got it in here. There it is. Make your computer better with Zorin OS. It's an alternative to Windows and Mac, designed to make your computer faster, more powerful, secure, and privacy respecting. All I got to do is just put it in. I have to download it, I think, and make an installable version and put it on a thumb drive. You know, make a bootable thumb drive, I guess you would call it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to start doing these other ones. I may even do the laptop. I may even, instead of trying to make it Windows 10, just make it Linux. Make everything Linux. I may eventually make everything Linux because I'm sick of Windows. I like Windows 10, but I'm sick of what they've done. And I know they're trying to get updates into my computer right now, right? They're sending down updates. My computer is constantly saying, you had 12 updates, we turned them down. We had 12, and I know what they're trying to do. What they do, once your version goes out of date, they'll start issuing updates to your version, but they're not updates, they're down dates. What they do is and you know who started this? Apple started this. They got in trouble. They got sued over this. And they were found to be guilty of doing it. They would push software updates into your phone after your phone reached a certain age, after your phone was 2.5 years old. They would send your phone an update that would make it perform like shit. It would make it start locking up. It would make it run the battery dead really fast. It would sit there and run calculations in the background to run the battery dead and things like that. Apple's really dirty when it comes to stuff like this. And so you're sitting there, well, I got to replace my phone. The battery's only lasting 5 hours and the screen's all screwed up and it takes forever to load programs. No, there's nothing wrong with your phone. You got an update from Apple that made your phone seem like it's broken on purpose. They did that on purpose so that you would buy another phone. Do you guys hear this cat? Brrr, brrr. It's like, geez. You micro shaft. Yeah, they do it with all of them. I think they do it with Windows too, and that's why, as you know, none of my computers will accept downloads from Microsoft, and they're all firewalled, and and even though I've got all that done, my computer is downloading updates right now in the background. Every week I go in there and delete them all back out. I'll have 5 or 6 gigabytes of shit that it's downloaded. I can't get it to stop doing it. All right, guys, it's 2 hours and I'm going because I'm very tired and I'm hurting tonight. So I'm gonna go. Isn't that funny? You're right too about the seeds. Oh, I love cactus and succulents. I love them. I've got my own. I got a barbed wire cactus out here. Get this. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I was out and my neighbor, Hal, who I'm sure has been dead for 50 years now, Hal was out back and he was putting stuff on the burn pile and he put on this piece of cactus. And I'm like, what's that? And he said, it's a piece of this old cactus and I just want rid of it. And I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah, it's been growing here since I built the house, which was like 20 years at the time, because that was the oldest house on the block. And he says, it was here when I bought the house. I don't know who planted it, but it was here. And it's a piece of barbed wire cactus. You could look it up. It's like a cactus tree type of thing. And so I took this piece of cactus and I planted it and it grew. And it's still growing at my mother's house, the same house I grew up in. It's still growing over there. Well, I brought a piece of it over here and stuck it behind my shed. It's growing up 15 feet up here behind my shed. It's huge. So that genome is 70 years old. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm keeping it going for 70 years now. This cactus that was growing at this man's house before I was even thought of. I think that's really cool. And then I also have a prickly pear, the big flat cactus. I got one of those over there at my mom's house, and I brought a piece over here, and I've got it growing out here too. And that comes from the Ted Smallwood store, which I don't think is even there anymore. I think all the storms have wiped it out. But that is a special genome that was down in a pretty remote part of Collier County called Chokoloskee Island. And I brought that home and got that going. And the guy said that tree had been there all the way back when they first built Ted Smallwood store. And it's gone now. So, but I have a piece of it that I grew, and that piece is still growing today. There's a big, huge plant of it in my mom's backyard. I love cactus. I love it. I used to graft. I know. You're thinking, what? This guy used to... Yes, I used to graft. I used to get red cactus and green cactus and blue cactus, and I would graft them all together and do different things. It was pretty cool. I used to love it. It was very difficult. Only about 1 in 5 grafts that I would do would actually take. But it was neat. I had some that lived for years that were grafts that I did. And I would do a graft where it would be a green stalk with a red top. And then it would get pups all over it and start pupping and growing and everything. And like, wow. And that was all from a graft that I did. So I love cactuses. I used to graft them all different ones together and see if I get them to live. Yeah, I love cactus. I don't regular potted plants and flowering plants, they're all cool, but cactus is what I really like. I've had a lot of different succulents over the years and a lot of different cactuses, and I love them. Oh yeah, you got an aloe vera, it's probably still pupping. Those things, a lot of those will live forever, and they just keep pupping. Most of those succulents are a lot like bromeliads. Some of them will continue blooming year after year. Other ones will only bloom once and then pup forever. So yeah, it all depends on which one it is. All right. Well, good night, Dispatch. You have a good one. Thanks for coming in. And as always, oh, there you go. Yeah, I like oils and different things for scent, but I can't use them around the cats. So I don't burn scented candles, and I don't use any of the vapored oils or any of that stuff because it's all very bad on cat lungs. Yeah. And I love that stuff, but I just don't do it around my cats. All right. Well, yeah, I'm getting ready to go, guys. I will we'll keep you advised on what's going on with all this. I want to say we'll find out more about this plane collision tomorrow, but I think we already know what there is to know. I think everybody's going to survive except the two guys we lost, and it's a miracle. It's a miracle we didn't lose a bunch of people, so it's a good thing. We'll have to see what happens, but I don't expect any big revelations. It was an error. We all make them. Sometimes we have big jobs. So, all right, guys. Everybody have a good night out there. My name's Ian, and I did make a few new songs tonight, so I'm gonna play you one of those, and then I'm gonna sign off. But I do appreciate everybody coming in tonight. It's been a blast. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures on. I'm sorry. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on Starship Adventures. My name's Ian, and we're broadcasting worldwide from Southwest Florida, worldwide on YouTube. Good night, everybody. Good night, America, and around the world. We'll see you guys tomorrow, right back here at 9 o'clock for another episode of the Sights and Sounds of Earth.
Well, I woke up this morning, turned on the news. Another leftist rally with their matching tattoos. They got blow-up animals and rainbow capes, superhero cosplay, and a bunch of sad sack betas in tights and face paint. Blue-haired Karen screaming at the sky, while some washed-up wedding singer belts Imagine and starts to cry. They don't know what they're protesting. They just know they're mad, marching for 12 straight hours like it's gonna fix the world. Oh, how sad. From defund the police to free Palestine, they scream at the clouds all day and wonder why nothing's changed. It's the dumbest damn circus that I've ever seen. A bunch of ignorant socialists living in a fever dream. They got signs saying eat the rich while wearing 300 jeans, demanding 25 minimum wage for a job they've never seen. They block the interstate for climate change, glue themselves to the road, then cry when the cops show up and say, time to go home. Beta male's not in along like good little boys, while their girlfriends scream fascist at the mailman delivering toys. They don't know what they're protesting. They just know they're mad, marching for weeks on end like it's gonna fix the world. Oh, how sad. From no kings to no borders, from pronouns to Palestine, they're out there every weekend wasting everybody's time. It's the dumbest damn circus that I've ever seen. A bunch of blue-haired socialists lost in their own wet dreams. They've been at it since Floyd, through Dobbs and through Gaza. Still don't have a clue what the hell they're even hollering for, y'all. One week it's save the turtles, next week it's burn it all down. Honey, pick a lane before you run that whole parade into the ground. They don't know what they're protesting. They just know they're mad. Long days, long weeks, still nothing good ever comes from that. Blow up giraffes, blue hair, and beta males in tow. It's the saddest damn circus that this country's ever known. So keep marching in circles, keep screaming at the sky while the rest of us are working. Y'all just look stupid, and that's no
All right, everybody, thanks for being here. This does conclude our broadcast date tonight here on Starship Adventures. We will be back tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel, right here on Starship Adventures for the sights and sounds of Earth. So join us tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, right back here again. Thank you to my members out there and my moderators, and to all the viewers that came out tonight to watch the show. Thank you, everybody, for what you do and the support that you give to the channel. It's been my pleasure to be your host tonight. This is Starship Adventures. This does conclude our broadcast day. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Be safe. 7-3s, KO4 EFS. Clear and standing by. QSY.